So I've just finished a complete rewatch of Star Wars The Clone Wars, or at least coming to the end of a complete rewatch of Star Wars The Clone Wars, and in today's video I just wanted to count down my top 5 story arcs from Star Wars The Clone Wars, so that's what we're doing. Welcome to Hakuna MaChatter, your place for everything positive in diversity and representation in film and TV. My name is Elliot. If you're new here to the channel, please consider subscribing, turning on the bell notification. So coming in at number 5, we have Maul and Savage take over the criminal underworld, take over Mandalore, fight Darth Sidious, kill Satine, and I need to think of shorter titles for each of these. For the longest time, this story arc had always been my favourite in the Clone Wars, and I think it kind of pivots on the fact that Darth Sidious comes along and fights Maul and Savage. I always just love that battle. I love the idea that Sidious senses the dark side through the Force, and he's just like, yeah, no, I'm the darkest guy here and I'm going to go sort that shit out. After this rewatch, I kind of noticed something a little bit more, or at least I paid greater focus to something a little bit more, and that is just how intelligent and how carefully thought out Maul's plan is. Like, his idea is not to kill Obi-Wan, his idea is to bring Obi-Wan to absolute ruin, to put him through the same torment that Obi-Wan put Maul through. And I think the fact that Dave and George did something different with Maul here, and not just having him be the muscle to go and fight the Jedi, really expanded on the possibilities of what Darth Maul is, can be, was, so on and so forth. Coming in at number 4 is the Slaves of Kadavo. Now, what I really loved about this story arc is it was Star Wars bringing in real-world politics and putting a Star Wars sheen over the top of it. And what I kind of love about it in its relevance even now is that we are in Black History Month, well, US Black History Month as of the recording of this video. And I remember seeing something going around, an article going around, that some states were giving the option for kids not to learn about Black history in Black History Month in the US. And then you've got this Star Wars show here, Clone Wars, that's just like, yeah, slavery was fucking shit. And I love when Star Wars does me some real world politics. This storyline is brutal, right? The fact that we have a slaver dropping the slaves out of the bottom of a ship into a dark, empty, bottomless cavern. You know, there's always also that question that hangs over the Clone Wars of, is it truly a kid's show? Like, I mean, it is, come on, it's a cartoon animation, but, well, that doesn't necessarily mean kid's show. Yeah, there are moments like that where you're like, okay, so shit just got real. But I think what also this storyline does really well is with our 3 main characters, well, 3 of our main characters sitting over my shoulder there, as it displays their most prominent traits. Ahsoka's ingenuity, Obi-Wan's resilience, and Anakin's dark side. It's one of those unique storylines in the Clone Wars where we really get to see Anakin's dark side push through, and it helps flesh his character out so much, because I also just rewatched Attack of the Clones and I can't anymore with that film. Story arc number 3 for me is the Siege of Mandalore. Okay, I know, you're probably thinking, dude, how is that not top 2? And I get it, it's fucking amazing, but it's only in at number 3 for me. Look, the duel between Maul and Ahsoka is sensational. The fact that they mocap that thing as well, also the Order 66 stuff, how Ahsoka saves Rex from that, like, all these answers that we knew were kind of answered already, we needed to see them play out so that we could just get confirmation of that, right? Along with that, that's why it kind of only sits number 3 for me in this list, because 4 of the main characters that we're focusing on in this storyline, Maul, Ahsoka, Rex, Bo-Katan, we know that their stories don't end here. We know that they continue on into Star Wars Rebels, and now some of them further off into The Mandalorian as well. Whereas it's incredibly exciting, and I think all 4 episodes currently sit on IMDb with a 9.9 rating, which, that's freaking sensational. Just the fact that there's that lack of threat to any of the main characters, that we know they're going to survive, something that kind of loomed over the prequel films as well, just takes it off of that top spot for me. Coming in at number 2 is The Wrong Jedi. No, I had a better title for that. Coming in for number 2 is Ahsoka leaving the Jedi Order. Now, this is how you end a story. You know, I know the story didn't end, but this is how you answer questions and end a story. The one thing that always loomed over the Clone Wars was like, yo, like, Ahsoka, like, she's obviously not in the OT, so what happens to her by the end of the Clone Wars? She's not even in Revenge of the Sith. How have they just introduced Anakin having a Padawan? This absolutely makes no sense. My people who watched the Clone Wars when it first aired It was devastating because we knew coming into that final arc, one of two things are going to happen. Well, actually, no, I think we all felt that just one thing was going to happen and that Ahsoka was going to die, because we also didn't have Star Wars Rebels at that point either, so we had no idea that she survived. And so I think Dave Filoni was able to actually do the one thing we didn't expect, and that was Ahsoka leaving the Jedi Order. Did we kind of wish and hope for a happy ending for Ahsoka, and then in the end she has this bittersweet ending? In fact, even the end of the Clone Wars Season 7, she just ends up with a bittersweet ending. It just seems to be the lineage of this show, to end on a bittersweet feeling. Right, I ain't gonna do no honourable mentions list because I don't want to waste your time. You want to know what number 1 is? You're probably aching to just let me... Okay, yeah, like I'm wasting time to build something up. Number 1 is Darkness of Umbara. Rewatching this story arc just blew me away. It is fantastic, and I think it really is the central arc that, for me at least, built heavily into making the clones individuals as opposed to just a faceless army, sort of as what the droids are. I mean, look, after all, the show is called The Clone Wars, and so now we get an arc that is just dedicated solely to the clones. Yeah, I know we get like the Domino Squad arcs, etc., etc., but this is the central clone arc for me in this show. It's the most pivotal. What I love about it is, as I've said, we get to see the individual personalities of the clones, and in particular, I really love the highlighting of Rex and Fives. Fives is my favourite clone in the show, but Rex gets caught in that, treading the line between being a good soldier, following orders, and his loyalty to his brothers and the Jedi. And then with Fives, we see why he is an ARC trooper. He has that thinking outside of the box thing that some of the best clones have, and he's very much like, I know what my definition of a good soldier is. I'm not going to follow orders if those orders are shit. So those are my favourite arcs in Star Wars, The Clone Wars. Let me know yours in the comment section down below, and please let me know who your favourite clone and your favourite Jedi is. My favourite clone, Fives. My favourite Jedi, Ahsoka. Pretty freaking simple. Now, this channel usually dives deeper into diversity and representation, so if you'd like to dive into that with me and talk a bit more Star Wars, you can check this video right here. Or if you just want to chat a little bit more Clone Wars, guess what? I've got that video right there. And if you'd like to subscribe, please make sure you do right here and turn on the bell notification. Until next time, Hakuna MaChatter.